But I grew up in Minneapolis, and all the way up until 6th grade in Minneapolis, I was a fast runner. I was a real fast runner. I later on went on and competed at the state level, but I became fast partly because of DNA, but also something else in my life. While I was fast in 6th grade, I thought I had everything together. You know, you got to make sure your hair's cut right, make sure you got your Levi's, make sure you got your Adidas. That was cool back then, anyway. And you had it all together. But I had a secret problem. I had a secret problem that nobody knew about. Nobody in my school knew about my secret problem. You see, my secret problem was that I wet the bed. Now, I was good at this. I mean, faithful every night. Like clockwork. Wake up at 5 in the morning. Did it again. Did it again. And I would felt so bad about myself because there I was in 6th grade, and I was wetting my bed every single night. Like I said, I was good at this. And I literally didn't miss a night. And I felt so ashamed. And so while people on the outside say, oh, that's Cavins, he's really fast, inside I'm thinking, loser. And I hope nobody finds out about this. And so I had to kind of change my life. So, for example, when our friends guys would sleep over, you know, and have a slumber party, I was invited. But that would petrify me, because there's only one thing worse than wetting your own bed, and that is wetting your best friend's bed. And so when I would go and sleep over at my friend's house, I would have to pretend that I went to sleep. And when everybody was asleep, I would pull out of my pillow a book, a Hardy Boy mystery book, and I'd go out into the living room and I would walk all night and I would read my book. Because if I fell asleep, I did my ministry. And so when morning would come, I would go back and slip into the bed and I would pretend to wake up with everybody else. You see, my problem was when I had to go use the restroom, I had to go. Now, you probably thought you drove all day today and you didn't think you were going to hear this tonight. But something happened to me in 6th grade that changed my whole life. In 6th grade, I had a crush on a girl by the name of Janice. And we were all sitting in 6th grade in this big auditorium and sitting on the floor. And we had a guest speaker. She was blind and deaf. And she was communicating to this whole school about her life with Helen Keller. And then all of a sudden, I had to go to the bathroom. And when I had to go, it meant I had to go. And I raised my hand to the teacher. Now, earlier in the meeting, I had been, flirting with Janice and doing those things that really, attract girls' attention. I was pulling her hair and things like that. And all of a sudden, I had to go to the bathroom, and I raised my hand, and the teacher comes walking over like this. She said, "Yes, Jeff?" And I said, "I got to go to the bathroom." She said, "There's only about 10 more minutes. You can wait." She took off. I'm thinking, oh, no, I can't wait. And so I'm sitting there literally on the floor like this. And there's Janice in front of me. And I wasn't pulling her hair anymore. I was starting to do this. And I was thinking, oh, I got to go to the bathroom. I got to go to the bathroom. And then all of a sudden my side started hurting. And I started sweating. And I thought, oh, Lord. I was a man of prayer back then. Oh, Lord, you got to help me, Lord. And all of a sudden I'm going, phew. And I mean, I was just sweating bullets. I'm going, now, I came to school with brown corduroys that day, light brown. And one problem was over with, but there was a whole new problem that I was sitting on. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh, no, and I'm looking down, and wouldn't you know it, my problem is inching towards Janice. I couldn't believe it. And I'm thinking, no, no, no. And all of a sudden, class got up, it was over with. I'm thinking, oh, good. And I'm still sitting there, and everyone is going back to their class. And I'm just sitting there thinking, looking like I was deep in contemplation about the talk. And we had a rule in our school, and that was you couldn't go back to your class unless everybody was lined up. So they're yelling, come on, Cavins. And I thought, oh, no, here it goes. And I got up. And I started walking and dripping. And I started walking towards the door, and all of a sudden they yelled out, Cavins wet his pants! And I just took off running, and there was 2 lines in the hallway, all the way down to every class, 1st through 6th. And I went running down the hall, and they were tripping me, and they were kicking and hitting me on the back and pushing me from side to side, laughing their heads off. Cavins is a pants wetter, and so forth. And I was just bawling. Now, 6th grade, that's devastating. And I ran out the front door of that school, and I ran about 2 miles all the way home in cold Minnesota in January. By the time I got home, I was chapped. I just thought I'd throw that in there. And I came home, and I was bawling, and my mom said, what happened? What happened? I said, I wet my pants in front of school. And I thought, I'm dead. I'll never go back there. And at that age, you're thinking, what a loser. And I literally thought at that point, I don't have a life ahead of me now. I'm going to be selling insurance someday, and the guy's going to get ready to sign the contract, and he's going to stop and say, wait a minute, you're Cavins. You wet your pants in 6th grade, and rip up the contract, I thought, nobody will ever go out with me. No girl will ever be attracted to me. By the way, I don't do that anymore. I don't wet the pants anywhere or anything, or the bed. But I thought my life was over with. I did. And as a result of it, I had a real fear of standing up in front of people. I didn't want to be in front of people. I felt like a loser. I felt like this was going to follow me the rest of my life. Now, I share that story with you. Why? I just needed to get it out of my system. No, I share. Thank you, you've been a great audience. No, I share that story with you. You know why? Because that was my pain. And that was the thing that was keeping me down, where I didn't think that I would ever become anything and that God could even use me in any way. And I know that if I were to interview people here today, we would hear stories of people who feel like they are damaged goods. People who feel like they don't have a chance anymore. People that feel like they're nobody. I got news for you. God uses every person right where they're at. And if they're willing to give him everything, he can change the world.